through this particular proceedings of the show. Yes, it is a week that has started today. Some of us, we are from all the way from Dandora Stadium, but what happens there is quite not really impressive. We expected that maybe after all the changes that has been happening here and there, new players being actually scouted for these particular teams, maybe they're so coveted for glory, will bend again present its card today, but that has never been the case. We are still being put on the bay to continue waiting with draws after draws. And as it happens, it seems as if this again is not going to be the season that people will and again expect something from AFC Leopard.
I don't want to comment because when I was at your desk, you told me they are playing some good, sexy football. Now, let's take a look at, let's just have a recap of what has happened this week. There's a lot that has taken place. And first and foremost, of course, this is police. They have gone to the next level of the CAF tournament. Beria, what's your take about the Police FC?
Naisi kwamba wana kibarua, manake wanavopiga hatua, mashindano yanaendelea kwa magumu. Na mechi ya mkondo wa pili dhidi ya Mogadishu City naishi kwamba wali underrate ile timu kwamba tumeshawapiga mkondo wa kwanza, tuko nyumbani, tutatumia advantage ya uga wetu wa mashabiki pia wakiwa pale, lakini Mogadishu nao walikuja kiasi cha kwamba wanazuia na kushambulia wakitumia pembeni, na hili liliwaponza zaidi wana bila shaka Police FC. Lakini pia inafaa wazingatie nidhamu ya wale hasa mabeki wao hasa wa nyuma akiwemo Mwamba. Wanasema kwamba nusu chuma nusu mtu, ambaye ni yule jamaa ambaye alipiga Simba akaja tena hapa nchini akaonekana kidogo amepotea kidogo, Josh Onyango mwenyewe.
Let me also bring in Rogers, the second leg, they were beaten 2-0 as they move to the next level. Do you feel like they can be able to outshine or rather do better compared to the results at Nyayo, the return leg?
I think the real battle starts in the second leg because, you know, here they were like in the pre-season. They were lucky they made their debut against weaker opponents, but now whatever they're going to face is an uphill task. And remember, they'll be playing Al Ahly in Libya. At the Sudanese side, of course, they're likely to take their home match in Libya due to them having many fans in North Africa. And that's where we are going to know exactly if police, the real police, because, you know, whatever they showed us in the return leg against the Mogadishu City's club was absolutely embarrassing, to say the least, because this is a team that has spent a lot of money on recruitment, and they have one of the best players around in the country. I don't know, and I don't understand what the technical bench was thinking when they fielded such type of squad. Well said. These players also, whoever was fielded in that game, he need to bring his A game into that match, because all of them are professional players, and whoever wears that jersey needs to know that this is my job. I need to play with my heart out. Unfortunately, that never went to script. Fortunately, they were embarrassed, and everything that they had done, maybe trying to undermine the Mogadishu side, they just put them away, and, you know, that confidence that most of people had put into them has with that. So I don't know how they're going to work out their way heading to the...
So you're saying hapa kuna ish bad?
It is, they have a lot of work to do. They have a lot of work to do.
We move on to something else that has happened this week. Bandari FC, Gor Mahia, or rather the coach, has been fired. And now the assistant coach is the one that is holding brief. Sedo, he has just been in Bandari for just 1 year. And Bandari is one of the teams that seems to be struggling in the league. Is the assistant going to be able to bring back the glory to that team?
There are teams in the current dispensation, the modern kind of dispensation, that if you are given that kind of privilege actually to steer them, there's no any other excuse that come other than giving the result that is required. Simply to the essence that this team provides all the avenues that any other coach or other tactician will require to steer that team to the glory of the coveted estates of the official that have hired you. For instance, Bandari, you go through the circles, it's one of the teams that actually has mapped their allowances to a certain standard that no any other KPL team, a few KPL team can match. Giving a player a winning bonus of 10,000 shillings is not quite easy in EPL, and that's what Bandari actually is giving their player. So as to hear that if you win, you're going to pocket 10,000 shillings, it motivates you to keep on winning match after match, but that has not been the case. Also, come to Scouting Avenue. It's a team that has given all the time to travel. It can actually sponsor you to travel around or across the country, scouting for players. So as to say, he had all the necessary paraphernalia that is required to steer Bandari even to become a title challenger. But that was not the case. And again, when they started the season, they were not quite convincing. You see, of Siraj Mohammed leaving Bandari to Gor Mahia, that tells you a story that their dressing room is not well packaged. Because a compact dressing room will tell players actually to be retained in that particular team, not necessarily by anyone else telling them, but that passion of just playing for the team. So as to say, John Baraza is not a bad coach. He has actually his qualities. We have seen him at Sofapaka and what he did with Sofapaka, regardless of the minimal resources that Sofapaka was presenting at that particular time. He's a kind of a coach that if he supported
he has been with the fired coach.
Yes. If he supported well and he rallied behind that particular dressing room, Bandari can start turning around things and the result can start coming their way.
I think additional to that, I think Baraz is not new to Bandari because he has been in that position before. So this is just a revolving thing that is happening at Bandari. You know, they keep on rotating these coaches, and he has served an interim position previously. He was an assistant coach. He was the head coach. So whatever they're doing at Bandari, I think they have to ask themselves a lot of questions, call themselves in a meeting. What are their targets exactly? Because these are corporate team that has resources. Everything is on their table. What are they achieving?
Right.
Yeah.
Mberia, Nairobi United. They got their first win of the league after they beat Mara Sugar. Now, what's your take? Are they showing some signs of kukimbizana after returning to the KPL?
Nahisi kwamba Nairobi United ushindi huu ulikuwa unatokana na motisha ambayo walionyesha katika mechi yao ya kombe la mashirikisho CAF Confederation Cup. Kwamba walipiga hatua kiasi cha kuwachabanga wale majirani wetu kutoka kule Uganda, na wametuma asa pale onyo kwa wale wapinzani wao kwamba hatujapanda tu daraja, kwamba tumepanda kiasi cha kwamba tunaweza wania taji, na kwa mara ya kwanza tukawa kama Leicester City kule EPL ambao walipanda na mwisho siku wakasepa na taji. Lakini pia uangalie ile tajriba na uzoefu wa wachezaji ambao wana Nairobi United Night Boys wanayo, akiwemo Ovela Ocheng ambaye hajacheza klabu tu hii peke yake, amecheza baadhi ya vilabu vizuri, lakini pia mechi hii ilikumbwa na utata mzito.
Na ndio nataka tuzungumzie utata huo wa baadhi ya picha ambazo kulikuwa na nipe nikupe. There was a back and forth about
kwamba Hisani hampi yule mpiga picha.
There is a photographer, he's called Kangwana. This is his photo. And it actually has a watermark, I would call it, Kangwana Media. But then there was now the other photo that had, if you can give me the other one, Otachi, there is the second photo that has this watermark, Kangwana Media has been removed and another one put. And that is where the problem, I think, was arising, that he was not given the credits. Shtemi.
I think it is high time we need to professionalize our league and take it to another level. You know, we can make 10 strides ahead, but one small thing takes you back like 11 steps backward. So these are some of the things. We underrate small things we are doing, more so when we feel like maybe it's going to cost us a lot of money.
This is actually the photo.
Yeah, when you spend money on small projects, the benefit will come after a long period, but they'll be valuable to whoever will be there. Let me go direct to this point. I think whatever Ovela did, it was regrettable, and I'm glad he came out and apologized to it. At this particular juncture, there's what you call trainings and also copyright issues, whereby if you take my content and you know it is my content and you're going to deframe it or try to alter it so that it looks like it's yours, definitely you are infringing my rights and copyrights. And that goes right directly to the league organizers and the league owners, that is Football Kenya Federation, and the club owners as well. take these players through media training. It won't cost you anything. Most of these things we are seeing, they could have been prevented much earlier. We do say that ignorance has no defense, and definitely this is exactly what transpired during this scenario whereby Ovela tried to maroon that indeed he owned more right on this photo compared to the person who took it, who is protected by the media rights and everything Media Act related to it, and also the FKF being that he is accredited by FKF to take those photos. Makiu, Ovela, this photo wasn't taken when Ovela was maybe on the streets of Nairobi. He was on the pitch. So he doesn't own that right. It is owned by whoever who clicked that camera and took the motion and what was happening on the pitch.
Unajua Kariuki, hii pia inatuma swali kwamba hawa wachezaji wakitia wino kandarasi za vilabu vyao hawazisomi. Hawajui kwamba hii inafaa kuwa.
Because he was arguing that he had not given anyone have we signed any contract for you to take photos. I think they are not aware of what happens as
they not necessarily go through that document, and I know the document might be so cumbersome that some articles are actually hidden in there, not for these players actually. And more so, the line of player, their focus is always on the pitch. I'm not talking about the likes of Ovela. I know most of cards, most of deals are actually forged on their behalf without their understanding. And that's why it comes to an essence of them not necessarily breaking it down, the contract to a level of what Eshitemi has just said here. For instance, if I choose to become an FC Leopard player, I follow within the contractual agreement of FC Leopard. If FC Leopard ferries me from here to Mombasa, they actually have the whole right issue pertaining me as their player. If I break my leg playing for them, they have the right of taking me to the hospital.
Right.
Those are the contract insurance within, articles insurance with their contract, including the images. You know, this player, they think that they own up their images when they are playing for that particular club, but those images are for the clubs. Those clubs, when they are taking those photos, their rightful images are either for the club or the federation that has offered that club those rights too.
Right.
If it comes to the TV rights, the Azam that is actually covering it carries the entire media rights, including the image rights, if at all it's a video clip. So as to say that now because you are playing, you are brought in your talent, but they are paying you for that talent, the money they pay you takes away your contractual right. That's what they don't know.
Anafikiria kwamba unatengeneza pesa kwa picha yake.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say, because most of them think that maybe like my colleague who took that photo is commercializing that photo. That is not the scenario. Unless if maybe he used it to gain something out of it. That is maybe Ovela has the right at questioning, why are you using my photo to generate revenue without my consent? It can be a different thing altogether.
Tuende mbele. Otachi kwa Harambee Starlets have given their provisional squad, and the 38 members are players. Some of them, these are the players that the provision squad, and the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers that they are going to be participating. Some of them, maybe you can just have a look of them. These players, these are the goalkeepers. We have the defenders, about 7 of them, and then we have the midfielders, quite a number of them that have been called up for the provisional, or rather for the African Cup of Nations qualifier. They are going to be playing. Those are just some of the names that have been called up. But you can move on to something else that has also happened this week. It was the Champions